like it said, these develop in teenagers or early adulthood because that's when the personality really sets in. Before then, a child, their personality doesn't really set in. They haven't experienced much of life to get much of a personality. Personality disorders, they think that their actions are normal. They don't see anything wrong with it. So they blame others for things that are going on, and they think there's something wrong with everyone else, but not with them. And oftentimes they have troubles interacting socially because of their personality disorder. They think they're acting normal and everyone else is acting weird. Everyone good? Any questions on that before we move on? So I just put this picture on your thing because there's a lot of information. So there are 3 clusters to personality disorders. There's cluster A, which is odd and eccentric, cluster B, which is dramatic or emotional, and cluster C, which is anxious or fearful. So these are some other different personality disorders. The only one I'm really going to go over is obsessive compulsive, OCD. We've all heard about that, but sometimes it can be exaggerated if people will say in a casual conversation, like, oh, I have OCD. But in reality, like, they probably don't. They're just like things that they like a particular way. But someone with obsessive compulsive disorder is a perfectionist, passive aggressive, and rigid. So someone with OCD, they might have, they might need their fridge to be organized a certain way before they go to bed. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think about organizing my fridge before I go to bed. But like someone with OCD, they couldn't sleep if they didn't organize their fridge in a certain way or didn't put things back. So that's an example. They are extreme perfectionists, and it gives them high anxiety with those things. Childhood disorders. They often start early childhood. They're also referred to as developmental and learning disorders. Some adults may have these symptoms or disorders too, but if they do, for it to be a childhood disorder, it must have had to appear in the person's childhood. Some examples are attachment disorder, ADD, ADHD, reading disorder, Tourette's. Some people can grow out of the disorders, but not very often. Sometimes they fade away as you grow older and you're able to like learn how to manage the disorder, but some people, like Tourette's, that doesn't really ever fade away. ADD or ADHD, that can kind of, as you become older, you can learn to control it more or get on medication. Mood disorders are basically characterized by your mood. Pretty simple. It's the elevation or lowering of a person's mood. So one mood disorder, I'm sure you guys have all heard about, is depression. There's different levels of depression. We're going to talk about major depression, and it's characterized by an inescapable and ongoing low mood, often accompanied by low self-esteem, loss of interest, or pleasure in activities that a person used to find enjoyable. Symptoms must be present nearly every day for 2 weeks. Some severe cases, the individual may want to commit suicide, they may have trouble sleeping, or getting too much sleep. So one key thing here is symptoms must be nearly present every day for at least 2 weeks. Like, everyone has bad days, but for it to be clinically diagnosed as depression or major depression, they must be present for every day for nearly 2 weeks. So a lot of people with depression, they lose interest in activities they previously enjoyed. much sleep or not enough sleep. Just, they're not always necessarily sad. Sometimes they can be emotionless and stuff. Any questions on depression or anything we've gone over so far? Anything confusing? If you have any questions, just ask. So, post-traumatic stress disorder, or also known as PTSD, is a disorder that develops when people have experienced a shocking, scary, or dangerous event. I'm sure we've all been through some pretty scary things. And it's natural for people to feel scared or stressed during the event and a little bit after the event. But what separates PTSD from just a natural individual feeling these things, when they continue to have fear or stress after the event when they're not in danger. So an individual is not in danger, but yet they still feel fearful and stressed. That's one of the symptoms of PTSD. They can have flashbacks, which is reliving the trauma over and over. Bad dreams, frightening thoughts can often be signs of PTSD. With these flashbacks, they're very vivid for the individual and can be very scary. Oftentimes, I'm sure you guys have heard of like people in the army coming back with PTSD because of some of the scary things they have to go through. Also, victims of sexual harassment can suffer from PTSD, or the death of a loved one can be very traumatic. It goes in a traumatic manner. Can be very stressful. And then the last mood disorder that we're going to go over is bipolar. Bipolar causes an individual to have high levels of energy, unrealistic, expansive thoughts or ideas, and impulsive or reckless behavior. Oftentimes, bipolar disorder is very difficult to diagnose because the symptoms may appear to be attributed to another disorder. So, bipolar disorder person can get excited over really simple things, or they can have these really big ideas or thoughts that they start to get excited over for no apparent reason. They get these crazy ideas, or just kind of, they seem like unrealistic, and then they get really excited about it. Or they can then all of a sudden become super sad over nothing.